let's do a cut crease together. So let's turn this into this. Looks so much better. So let's get down to it. I am taking the Plouise Cut Carver on a 7072 flat brush, which is also a Plouise brush. I will work in small sections at a time, and I've left this full video in real time. I've not sped it up so you can see this entire process. So I will coat both sides of my brush in Cut Carver. I will start working. Normally I will work a little bit lower than where I want my shape to go, just so I know the guideline I'm going with, and then when I have the shape good I can take it higher. Now that is just something that I kind of prefer to do myself, especially if I'm unsure of what kind of shape I want to go for, and like this shape was just a random shape I went for. I didn't have like a guideline in my head. I just thought this blends look kind of curved, so I want to kind of curve out and kind of do like a semicircle shape. So that's exactly what I done here. Now I will take my Cut Carver, and you can see here, you can see the little shape it's creating. What we do with my Cut Carver is I will work in the small sections like I said, and I will constantly wipe off any excess product. The reason I wipe off the excess product is because if I don't, it will just be creating like one big slimy mess, and it will be just so much harder to work with. So by working in sections and then wiping off any excess on a wipe, then picking up my Cut Carver and going back into it, we can start to break down the product, but it still looks clean enough that you can actually tell where you're going with it. Then when all that is done, I will take a spatula. This is just a metal art spatula. It's double-sided. I'm using the like flatter side to wrap around a makeup wipe and begin to wipe away any of that excess product. The reason we wipe off the excess product completely is because otherwise you will not be able to put anything on top, and you will still have that shiny line from where you've applied your Cut Carver, and you just won't be able to work with it. So this is called the Remove to Improve process. It's a process that I learned whilst training on the Plouise courses in watching like their educational videos, and I swear by this technique now. It makes everything look so much cleaner and more precise. Like you can see the beginning of this video when we start with the blend, compared to now, it just looks so much more cleaner, so much more sharper. And I'm going to show you how I will go in next with the paint on top. So we have that super sharp line that we're working with. I will then be taking Limelight paint from Plouise, and I will begin to fill in that entire area. So here I'm wrapping my finger around the wipe just to remove any of the excess base that is there, because again when working with the paints it is best to have a clean lid underneath to avoid like any mix of products, any colours seeping through, because the bases, or sorry not the bases, the paints like to work by themselves. They are very thick formula and we want them to work as good as they can. So by having a clean base underneath, there's not going to be like a build up of product, it's not going to be like cakey, it's going to be nice and smooth. So I'm taking the paint in the shade Limelight. This is from the Acid Rain collection with Mitchell. Again I'm taking another 7072 flat brush from Plouise, and like with my Cut Carver I'm coating both sides of the brush with the paint. You can see I'm stamping and gently pulling down, and I'm working at the top edges first and pulling it downwards, frequently going back in to pick up more paint on my brush, always coating both sides of it. The reason I love the paints is like, look how full like coverage these are. Like if I was using concealers, anything else, it would just be very thin. The paints are a lovely thick consistency. I mean, if you love technical heavy glam, you probably already know that the paint's been discontinued, which I'm like, oh no, why are you doing this? Because the paints are generally just life. They are probably my favourite product that Plouise have ever created, because for me, who loves technical heavy creative makeup, they just make life so much easier. Once I have stamped out the entire area, I would then take a flat but slightly fluffy brush, because this is like a sparse brush I'm using, and I will then pull any of the product down onto my lash line, and the reason I'm using a like fluffy brush is just to disperse the product out evenly. If I went in with my flat brush the whole way down, I might have like too much product on, depending how much is on my brush. You could have too much product on down near the lash line, it will just be kind of like a bit too thick to work with. So that's why I will go in with my flat brush, which you will be seeing on camera in a moment. This is how I will always use my cut carver and my paints. This is the technique I will follow for any kind of shape I'm doing with cut carver, whether it be the whale shape, the classic half cut crease, spotlight eyes, shapes in general like triangles, squares, whatever I'm doing with my cut carver and my paints. This is the guideline and technique I will always follow.